probably should be, because I think that's your domain. How dare you? I won't blame Steph for it, but I will blame you.
I expect this.
I'd blame me.
Why, did you pour a cup of water on your router or something?
Oh god, no. I need that too.
I think she'd take the router over the water.
Fuck off. You don't know my life.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
Exactly.
Excelente. Well, I do believe everyone is finally here. Finally. So are we ready to go ahead and launch into the recap? Who remembers what happened last session?
Someone else go this time. I did Giant Slayers.
And I always do this one, so that means it's Anna's turn, especially considering that it's, her episode to shine, and, she got people in trouble.
And I wasn't here.
I didn't get nobody in trouble. Pius got himself in trouble.
You stole a police scanner.
No, I did not. That was you.
I don't know. Pius told Alvin otherwise.
Oh, that was all him.
All right, let me go ahead and put in some outlines there for y'all. You met some new people, some of whom may or may not be the killer. You don't know. You think you got some suspects. You got one particularly strong suspect, but you don't know anything for sure. You did some more investigation, looking into said suspects. Pius is a thief. Ashley bagged her objective first before any of the rest of you, which admittedly, it would have been much more difficult for her if she had tried to do it alone instead of requisitioning aid from someone that can basically become invisible. So good job on you using your allies for personal gain. Very vampire of you.
Yeah.
Pius broke Alvin's computer and modem for parts to power his illicitly acquired police scanner.
Uh-huh.
Alvin was very unhappy about this.
Very unhappy.
In fact, I should have had Alvin roll a frenzy check, but he probably would have passed anyway, so we're fine on that. Let's see. Pius also called up his pawnbroker contact for some parts to fix both at a decent price, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Excellent. Now, with those guidelines, feel free to fill in the stuff I missed and add all the necessary details.
Alvin took on the janitor as an employee to kind of feel out whether he may or may not be the vampire due to schedule shifts.
He did that, but he also scheduled them to come in the morning. So if they show up, it's not the person you're looking for.
Yep. Yep. And we got to somehow find a way to get the professor that weirdly seems to only teach at night, somehow teach us in the daytime, or figure out something to do with him in the daytime. The cathedral led us to certain answers, but not clues towards what we're aiming at.
I would also note that I'm still very upset with three of you for not giving Alvin the MVP award for eliminating potentially one of your suspects immediately.
I gave him it for it.
And Olivia wasn't here in order to vote for that, so it was strictly on Ashley.
Yeah, sorry.
Shame on you. Your shame is only outweighed by the kudos for accomplishing your objective first.
So, it's even-ish.
I can't exactly achieve my goal, in a single session, so those kudos to her feel hollow.
And Pius did make the book heist seem as if it was just a prank done by college students trying to take a random book.
I would note that if Ashley had attempted to do so by herself, it would have taken a much longer series of events over multiple sessions. But like I said earlier, she manipulated one of her own allies to do her dirty work for her. Excellent. Very vampire of you. Take a bat star.
I will take it.
Pius also
Stop
gained from
biting me. Jeez.
Hey. No biting, no interplayer diabler. Tell David to stop biting you.
Oh, no,
that can wait for later.
It's the orange cat. I have an orange cat and a black cat and a diluted calico. So
And I can't reach that far. I don't have a boner at the moment.
you wouldn't be able to reach even if you did.
Lies. It wraps around this whole house for warmth.
No.
my
Just
God.
remember that the small urinal, aka the one closer to the ground, is reserved for midgets. It's reserved for your 5-year-old son, and it's reserved for any man with a 2-foot dick. And no, David, despite your delusions of grandeur, you do not qualify for the 3rd tier.
It's
Ooh.
endowment. And in
No.
the Spanish terms, it would be called grande. Endowment.
I know that in Starbucks terms, it would be called tall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving on from that. Everyone ready to begin? We do have some unfinished business from last session before we move on to a new night.
That's
But
good.
are we good to start?
Yes.
Mhm.
It sounds like the DM should recap what Olivia was up to.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be
died.
doing that herself in character. But I'll be coming on the new night. Not right now. So just kind of stew in that for right now, Steph. Just keep it all boiled down, all that creativity just simmering, ready to explode when it's your go.
Oh yeah, the last the hour leading. This is why I was also a little late because I've been trying to do a little research to add to what you already gave me. So I was trying.
Excellent. I love it when players do some research. Anyway, moving on, we will begin starting off this session in the confines of the Chantry. Ashley has just returned this evening. There's maybe an hour or maybe 2 of to go before sunrise. But you're quite excited because you're carrying something very important to you.
Yes.
One moment. Well, you're back, Kylie. A
I
fruitful
am.
night, child.
Oh, very fruitful.
And what did you get up to this evening?
Well, I got to visit the big school.
Ah, marvelous. You probably would have seen that replica they have up in the hallway, yes?
I did, and I saw the real thing.
Oh my, oh my. Perhaps you might even be able to present it to me in a night or 2. You're
And
progressing quite well.
and then Ashley whips it out and hands it to him.
He pauses for a moment, looking over the edge of the book he is currently reading. There's a loud snap as the book is slammed shut, promptly placed on the desk, and what you are holding is taken swiftly, but not rudely, out of your hands. Have you opened it yet?
I have not, although I've been very curious to. I have avoided doing that.
Well, I'm sure that you at least were able to feel that something is very not normal about this. I can tell it holding it even now. It's very, very obvious.
Yes.
If taking a precursory, taking a few precautions that you're not quite able to follow, perhaps in a bit more time you will, he eventually opens up the cover. And the feeling of something otherworldly, or at least not normal, magnifies several times over. Well, now, I expected quite a lot when we eventually acquired this. Perhaps some sort of relic of history or the like, but I do believe this is even better than our dear Regent was hoping for.
Oh, well, that is wonderful.
Have your studies told you what a grimoire is, child?
A bit, yes.
Let me rephrase. Have they told you what a true grimoire is?
I don't believe it did. Can you refresh my memory?
Certainly. You are, of course, familiar with our clan's beginnings, at least the ones you are privy to, that originally the original members of Clan Tremere were known as House Tremere of the Order of Hermes, which was an order of will workers or mages that persists to modern nights. They don't like us very much anymore after all of what we did in order to ensure our survival, but nonetheless, that is the origins of our clan, and a grimoire, true grimoire, is an item of mage fabrication. It teaches the ways of true magic, the ability to reshape the world to one's image, provided that your mindset matches the mindset of the writer of the book, the one that created it. Now, naturally, as our unfortunate undead condition being what it is, we cannot any longer manifest true magic. Instead, we work our blood magic, our thaumaturgy, our rituals that have the notable upside of not having to deal with any sort of paradoxical backlash that you'll find mortal mages have to deal with. But all the same, this could very well be the beginning of an entirely new path of thaumaturgy. This is how we normally develop such things, either trial and effort, or finding ways to adapt things we once knew over 1,000 years ago. I do believe that you should follow me. It wouldn't be right of me to steal any credit from you for this recovery, and the Regent will most certainly want to speak with you about it. Shall we?
Let's move on.
He takes you on a twisting, turning combination of passages you yourself have never used before. And any time you've seen or spoken to the Regent before now, it was often that he came to one of the more publicly accessible places of the Chantry. But now, you are being shown the way to his very doorstep. And with a knock on the door and a calm and collected "Enter," you are shown your way into his office. Ah, Magister Thorn. And Acolyte Ashley, yes?
Yes.
I trust you have a reason for coming here. Your sire holds the book out to you and calmly gestures with a hand to present yourself.
I will grab the book and step forward with the book outstretched. I have retrieved the book that my sire has asked me to.
Your prose could use a little work, dear, but I do love to see success so early in an endeavor. Is this it, then? Has it checked out?
My sire believes it has, yes.
Well, Magister Thorn is certainly experienced in a wide variety of occult eccentricities. Yes, well, hand it here.
And I will hand it over.
He will, similarly to your sire, take what you are assuming are his precautions before investigating it himself, and much more thoroughly than your sire did, it would seem, given the amount of time it takes while you stand there, passively, waiting. And if you were still human, you would probably be very fidgety. Or at the very least, perhaps, all too aware of your own heartbeat and breath, rather than the almost absolute silence in this room. A grimoire. Fascinating. Oh, you have done well, Acolyte. Though we shall have to be looking into changing that title of yours. It still requires a certain few formalities, but I think you will find your new rank of apprentice far more suiting.
Thank you.
Not at all, child. Thank you. You have done the pyramid a great service tonight. And with that, we will end that night, unless you had something you wish to ask the Regent.
Not the regent, but the sire for sure.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, after you have left, presumably, what is it you wish to ask your sire?
I wish to ask him if he has any knowledge of religions or magic involving the Fordon Butcher's symbol or speaking in Latin.
While the Fordon Butcher's symbol is quite generic, speaking Latin is somewhat common amongst certain varieties of magecraft, and, oh, sorry, I should probably get in character for this. Latin is quite common amongst certain varieties of occult and magecraft. Why, as you have clearly learned in your studies, many of our spells and rituals make use of such flamboyant wording. However, the nature of this, I believe, would seem almost ritualistic from what I'm told. The likelihood of there being some sort of magical effect, even if the killer is perhaps not aware of the true nature of what he is doing, is almost certain. I wish I could help you more, child, but there are certain restrictions in place as dictated by the prince regarding these matters. However, you will find that you do now have access to the next tier of the library. Feel free to make use of it toward your research. It might make such things easier.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I believe the section D aisle 7 might have some relevant topics if you believe it to be of Mediterranean origin. You can ask the librarian if for further details.
I will certainly be doing that.
Anything else before we move on the night?
There was one more place I wanted to stop before ending the night.
All right.
Oh, the quartermaster.
The quartermaster. Excellent. That would be one Alexandra Valentina. Oop. The quartermaster's office is a very practical-minded affair. The vast majority of the room is given over to likely the storage of items that don't quite fit in the main storage room itself, which is also connected directly to the office. There's a large amount of section given over to paperwork and filing said paperwork as well. He looks up as you enter. Ashley Silvano, yes?
Yes.
How are you doing tonight? It's not often I see you in my office.
I'm doing okay. Doing wonderful, actually. I was wondering if you had any wares, I don't mind if they're broken, that I could take and not return. Anything antique-y, by chance.
Broken antiques, or near enough? That's an odd request, but we can certainly take a look. What sort of antique? Are we talking furniture, vasery, decorative?
Clocks, mechanical, something along those
Mechanical
lines.
antique. That's a bit specific, but I do believe we have something for that. And you're pointing something specifically broken that we would not care about seeing returned anyway?
Yes.
That would be over here in this pile. This takes you through one door, then another, where clearly anything that is either in need of repair or has been deemed unrepairable but hasn't quite been thrown out has been stacked, despite the fact that it is largely, because of the two beforehand descriptions, junk. It is very, very immaculately organized. Kind of reminds you of the librarian in the library.
Yeah.
I believe we have a safe over there from the 1930s. There's, I think that clock on the wall there, the grandmother clock, used to be cursed. It's not cursed any longer, mind you, but unfortunately the way in which they did so quite utterly broke it. The box next to it has most of the missing pieces. Other than that, perhaps the music box no longer works, and though I think it once held some sort of true magicry, it doesn't any longer. You can blame. Well, no, we shouldn't be pointing blame within the pyramid. That would be uncouth. But any of those three things will probably fit the bill for what you need.
Oh, decisions.
You can take two of them easily enough.
I shall take the music box and the grandmother clock.
Excellent. I won't ask what you're intending to put them to use as, but may your endeavors for the clan always be fruitful.
Thank you. And same to you.
Of course, child. Now, if only that other acolyte was so respectful. Out of here, she doesn't know you've been promoted yet.
Well, I appreciate everything you have done for me, and I am going to retire for the night. It's been a long one.
Understandable. Well, have a nice night, dearie.
You as well.
Oh, day, rather.
Despite the fact that it's only like 2 a.m. in the morning.
No, by the time she got that stuff done, it's considerably later, more like 4 a.m.
Getting close to daytime.
In any case, with that, we'll move to the next night. It is now,
Why?
I believe, what?
Why?
Why wouldn't we? I thought you were done the previous night.
No, we just ended session. We made it back to the Daily Bagel. I had an argument with Pius, but I did not get to do anything else outside of that.
Okay, what is it you wish to do?
We got files from the police department on a background check for our traveling professor.
Yes.
I have
Alright.
paperwork I've basically picked up from the school, from the officer station. Like, I went through the newspapers of as much as I could on this guy, and have not been able to sift through it because we were splitting scenes.
Alrighty, well, commence your sifting through it. Let me go ahead and switch our scene back to the Daily Bagel.
Well, part of that's kind of up to you, because I have inventory. Now I just have to go through it, so Like
Which
Alvin's
will
gonna
require a roll at some point here.
Okay.
I know what you can learn through it. It's just going to take a roll. But in some time, while you have to deal with Pius in the background, tinkering with the police scanner that he skips through different frequencies, all the while you hear that you know for a fact he went into your room and vandalized your stuff in order to make it.
Oh, I'm over it initially because now I've said my piece, so that's no longer an issue. The lines have been drawn. He's been told off. It's if he does shit like that again and breaks the boundary that it becomes a bigger problem.
Indeed.
David smiles.
Let me see here.
I just don't want to waste an evening when I've got time to burn and a case to solve, since everyone else is a little more concerned with their own personal exploits.
Well, in this case, let's say intelligence investigation, difficulty 7.
Nope, that's computer, so intelligence investigation. Difficulty 7.
Yeah, my apologies about that. I actually had this whole thing planned as the start of a new night, and that was my bad.
It's all good.
Ooh,
Wow, that's some bullshit.
that is a botch, good sir. That is a botch. Not
That's
only
some
did you not
bullshit.
get any successes, but you have a natural 1 in there, which means I either give you some false information that your capture treat is true, or something else happens.
As per usual, D10 systems fucking hate me. I'm going back to copy and pasting.
That one caused any discord with the group, and having using Pius to screw something up with them, that would be too easy. So
I'm gonna try really
also
hard
don't
not
want to come.
have
I'm going
Pius
also.
be a dum-dum.
Yeah. But I also need to do something here.
Have fun torturing. Whatever.
I just finished typing this.
Could you turn the rain ambience up a little bit?
Oh, okay. Sure. I can do that. Let me find it. Okay, there it is.
Oh, that's pretty.
Unfortunately, it's still
Okay,
sunny
apparently.
here.
Okay. I know you like that now, I guess.
I don't know what it is, but this is like one of the most prettiest sounds, like to me, like in the world. It's just rain. I like rain.
I was gonna say we like rain. I fell asleep in the sunroom when it was raining.
Nick does too. So Trace likes rain. Do you like rain, Stephanie?
I assume she does.
Yeah, I do. She's right.
I was gonna say I've seen some of the things that she shared or liked of mine.
Stalker.
No, I get notified. Not my fault.
Nick, back over Anna with her car. She's stalking Stephanie.
I'm not worried about it.
Exactly.
God damn it!
In fact, I've invited her to steal Stephanie, so you know.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Wait, I can be
Wait.
stolen?
Yeah,
Yep.
he
I didn't
told
know
me I
that.
could
Gonna
steal
run
her.
off with Katie?
Hey! Can I steal you and have you poison one of my friends with your sandwiches?
Oh, you guys are running off with Andrew.
There you go. I'll poison someone with my sandwiches. Okay.
I was gonna say I was gonna steal her and go thrifting because I want to paint paint over old paintings with ghosts.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I've been seeing it
Okay,
all over
I have
TikTok.
sent a message to you, Zeno. I didn't want to completely screw you over, so there you go. So for right now, it's basically you took 2 steps backwards, sort of thing. That's about it. It'll just take some time to try and fix and try again. Okay. Pius, what are you doing for the rest of the night?
He's just fiddling with the scanner and trying to tune it in right.
The scanner.
Yeah, he would kind of just like wave the knob back and forth to get like to see what tunes like pick up the most sound, and then if he can pick up a voice, he'll stop there and listen to it for a second.
Oh, you do hear a few things. You hear the usual, garbled codes and the like of 1060 suspicious vehicle reported downtown 9th and Marion, or 1071 improper use of radio on that guy that seems to be using it to talk with the other girl.
Hey, Alvin, you should come over here and listen to this. It's pretty juicy.
Not right now, Pius. I'm a little busy. Somebody decided to make sure that these fucking newspapers were shifted into every fucking position. So despite the fact that the printer printed everything, it's still not in a chronological effort.
Did you make sure you looked at like the page format and spread? Oh, you didn't print them.
I didn't print them, no. I requested them to be printed. And while it was a sweet old lady, I think the problem is that the website decided to just post them in in a format where anyone has the ability to fucking edit things.
Well, soon we'll have the computer back. And then we'll be able to at least like search this online as well.
It's a little more difficult than that. We're not exactly to a point where we're sharing data in a way that, is able to be pulled from, vast distances everywhere, and whatever we do get takes high on forever.
Did not know that. Computers are pretty new. I'm usually a street guy. I usually get word of mouth and stuff, but I heard the internet's a pretty fascinating world.
Fascinating, slow, and tedious. If only there was an easy search function.
Oh, I'm
Sorry,
picking up something.
So that was just my impression of a dial-up sound of a character.
I'm picking up a dial tone. I guess we have to wait for Ashley and Olivia to get here then to really move forward with things.
No, this is still the previous night.
Yeah, but they're both gone. It's just Alvin and I.
Yep. In any case, unknown to either of you, back at the police station where all this was printed by that sweet old lady.
The sweet old lady was at the library, not the
At the library where the sweet old lady was printing all these things. You got them all nicely stacked up, all of them nice and together, and for some reason there was a raccoon that just ran through the building, right? And it just kind of jumped up onto her briefly, then jumped away, and into her kerfluffle, half the papers kind of got scattered, and she kind of had to rush to get them all stacked up again. And by the time she had them all stacked up again, they were in a jumbled mess.
It's like, oh my, what an odd seam of events. Oh well. She puts the papers back down.
In the future, though, Zeno, remember that spending temporary willpower does give you an automatic success that is not canceled by ones. So it's a way to at least say you did the bare minimum, if nothing else, even if everything else is against you.
I will never have willpower at that point because I will likely end up having to burn all the things.
Well, in that case, just play to your nature without anyone realizing, and you can get it refilled each night.
Thought I was already doing that, but thanks.
Let me see. Let me do some checking.
And if you need
Sounds
examples, I can make sure to reference things for you.
Yes, yes, I see. Good to know. Good to know. I need to keep better tabs on that. In any case, what are you at currently anyway? You're at, no, your willpower is currently max. Okay, yeah.
Currently, yes, because I've not used it at all.
Mhm.
So good to know that I can guarantee a success 7 times a night.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that either of you wish to do before we convene?
I sent you a message, but that's about it.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the new one. I saw the old one, not the new one.
You're fine.
Oh, I see. That's nice. I'll have to think up something going forward on that one. Good job, man. Hey, case. Last call before we continue?
Mm-mm.
Yep, all good on my end.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to the next night, and where my notes and preparation for the session actually begin, because I failed to realize that we hadn't actually ended the previous night. So now it is the night of Monday, the 11th of September, 1995. Everyone except Steph will spend 1 blood to wake up. For Steph, this will be 2 blood since you missed last session. You would have had to spend some to awake then as well.
I must feed.
How low are you down?
I'm not down low at all. I was just joking.
Excellent. Because I don't think any of you have really spent any blood thus far other than to wake up. Anyway. We begin, as always on a new night, with Alvin, waking up in the basement of the Daily Bagel. That's because he took cheat codes to always wake up first.
Ah, yes. So, get up, go look at, sun, read the newspaper, so on and so forth. Morning ritual.
Yep. When you get up there, however, you see Jess, as you usually do, as she's cleaning up. You don't really have a night shift yet, but she's always seems to be making sure everything is clean before she ever goes home. She does, however, unusually, seem rather disturbed and concerned.
Evening, Jess. What's the matter?
Sorry, sir. Mr. Valdric, Alvin, what am I supposed to call you anyway?
Mr. Valdric is fine.
Well, Mr. Valdric, we had no customers today.
That's a bit
At all.
strange.
Well, I mean, that was kind of understandable considering we had like these 3 bikers, Dougs, I don't know, they were just camped right outside our front door, scaring away anyone tried to get in. Just giving them this look, and that didn't scare them off. The guy with the bat did.
I see.
Oh,
Here, that I'm gonna need to get some surveillance on the area. How did Kyle handle the situation?
Well, Kyle's just one guy, and there was like 3 of them. He tried to call the police, but the police came, they looked, and they left.
I see.
Sarah took a picture. She had one of them disposable cameras, the one that prints out pictures.
Yeah.
And she will actually go ahead and bring it out from behind the counter and hand it to you. And 1 moment.
Oh shoot! You made a picture and everything.
Not a full picture. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the thugs in question.
Yeah. Uh, uh, uh.
What all of them have in common is that they're wearing some sort of clothing or another that all proudly declares themselves as members of the, quote, Thunder Dogs, which apparently seems to be some sort of biker club.
Understood.
Kyle tried to chase him off, but, it wasn't looking good if he tried. And since the police seemed to, for some reason, I think Kyle said something about it looking like the police were paid off with how they were acting.
Well, that's unfortunate. Up here in University area, too. Huh. I didn't think bikers would bother with a college town.
I wouldn't know about that, but Mr. Fitzpatrick, Kyle, he seemed to have the idea that maybe they were paid to stop us. I mean, I don't know why. We don't exactly make a lot of money right now anyway. I don't know why any of our competition would be worried about us.
Because sometimes they don't exactly like when new people decide to start growing their roots. Better to weed them out before they even get the ball rolling.
I know you told me to go home a little earlier, but I didn't really feel comfortable until they left. It's kind of odd when they left, you know? They left actually, it was just like 15 minutes ago, right before you got up.
Is that so? You didn't happen to see which direction they went in, did you?
No. Well, they went left, but there's a whole world left of us, and there's a whole world right of us.
Okay.
Kyle said something about going to look up what gang they were. I mean, going to look up like where that gang hangs out. 'Cause, you know the biker types. They always have a place they go to. He said he'd get back with you.
Oh, then I'll hope to receive a text pretty soon here then.
Anyway, now that it seems to be all safe and clear, you mind if I go ahead and go home?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mr. Valdrick.
No problem.
And she'll start packing up her stuff to go.
Yep. I'll just
It
kind
seems
of
like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you first.
Like, it seems out of character, like someone has it out for you for some reason.
I wonder why. Did Kyle make any mention about an interview that was supposed to transpire today?
Oh, you mean what was it?
Mr.
Mr. Joshua?
Yeah.
Mr. Smithings, yeah. Yeah, he came by. I mean, he looks really rough, but he seems like a nice guy.
Good.
I mean, I don't know what he did upstairs, but Kyle wasn't complaining about it.
I asked him to drop on by to see if he'd be interested in being a handyman of sorts around the area. Help keep some upkeep on the apartments upstairs. Maybe if something needs fixing down here, he might have a little know-how for that as well.
Yeah, funny thing, he cleaned the windows this morning, and when those thugs were just out there like greasing them up by just leaning against them and stuff, he got really irritated. Wanted to go, I don't know, do something, but Kyle held it back because he didn't think, well, you know.
It's entirely understandable. I'll have to keep that in mind. He's not
Out of
exactly
character.
fond of people messing with his work.
Yeah, out of character, Joshua is the embodiment of all my angry janitor self.
I just fucking cleaned that.
Uh-huh.
All right, then.
Well, in any case, the next thing that would happen tonight is, as you go about, obviously, your usual newspaper and so on. You can't browse the internet for news right now because of a certain someone, but you probably will be able to get that fixed pretty soon. However, before you can get anything else done, there's a loud sound of a revving motorcycle pulling up outside the Daily Bagel. A rather oddly bright Hawaiian tie-dye motorcycle, and on the back of it, behind another lady, is Olivia, who looking quite traumatized.
I'm always traumatized.
Extra traumatized.
I'll make sure the front door is unlocked so that they'll be able to enter. But beyond that, I'm not gonna make any particular motions.
Lyra will leave with a wave, but have a good day at work, sweetie.
Just facepalm like, bye, Lyra.
I
Lyra,
love
I'm
that
leaving.
clan. Your clan's so cool. I like the Nosferatu, but I like this like neon punk vibe. That's so sweet. On a
Yeah.
character, like that's my real life like aesthetic. I love that vibe.
Well, the aesthetic for each Malkavian is unique to each Malkavian.
This specific
Lyra
one is really cool.
Lyra is just bright and colorful all the time. Period.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
I like the contrast that Olivia has to Lyra. While it's still somewhat colorful in that, it's a lot more muted.
Yeah, but it's fun.
And with that, Olivia arrives. Olivia, how are you feeling tonight?
I think she feels thankful and like grateful that she's back at the Daily Bagel and not where she was. It's almost like someone who has been out at sea for a while and finally is back on land.
Fair. I can see that analogy sinking in very well.
She basically is gonna probably. You have the door. You said you unlocked the door.
I did.
She's definitely gonna bust in. She's gonna shut that door and lock it herself, so Lyra can't come in, and basically just fall into one of the seats with her head hitting the table.
Rough evening.
She mumbles into the table. You don't really understand her.
I don't think I'd need to, but at that same pace, we didn't see you yesterday.
She slightly lifts her head. She's like, "Girls' night out."
I see. You didn't happen to pick up any details on our job, or, lest we be, I don't know, pariahs amongst vampire culture, or worse, killed.
She sits straight up and just stares you deadpan. I didn't have time to do anything with all the paracel dueling in the House of Mirrors, the high tea on the Ferris wheel, the mummy dust. Don't get me started on that. And apparently, my cat in the afterlife is disappointed that the bowl is still empty.
All right, then.
I wish Pius was up there to hear that.
Sadly, you will always wake up in the order of your humanity, or in Alvin's case, his cheat code.
Sadly.
Understood. Well, I suppose let me catch up to speed then if you want a distraction.
Yes, please. Anything. I cannot go back through my memories and want to see the vaudeville style dancing and music that we had to do at the Palace of Grand. Oh my god, just give me something.
All right. Well, kick things off. We've got a suspect or two. We visited a church yesterday night in order to see about the religious connection that Ashley had picked up on, thanks to her little seance of sorts. We ended up meeting up with... Where is Independent? There we go, the Sombra. Mr. Elio Vitale, is the father parishioner of the local church nearby. Effectively, he didn't have much to really give us, but he's looking into a couple things just in case. His, I don't know what exactly you'd call it out of that kind of a place, but there was an individual who had only been there for a little while. Maybe not more than a couple months. Where is this guy? Not Gangrel. Not Bruja. Frank Giggs, clergyman at St. James Cathedral. Seems suspect. Not sure if fully human. Haven't really dug too much in on that. Beyond that, there's a wandering professor that happens to be an expert on occult things to a certain degree, or anthropology of sorts. Seems suspect. I've got a background check and a litter of newspapers from the past few months to see whereabouts this man's exactly been, because from our conversation, it would appear that he's been to several of the cities that, well, the Four Dawn Butcher has been to. If you note any tension between Pius or Ashley and myself, understand that Pius is, let's just say in the doghouse for the evening.
The doghouse? Why?
Well, as I'm going to explain to you, this is my domain, therefore, anything that goes in here is up to my jurisdiction. And while I'm pretty lax on most things, I'm not exactly keen on when people break into my room and start wrecking my stuff, despite whether or not they believe it to be for the greater good of our mission. Permission is kind of something I would appreciate. Ask before taking. So he decided to break apart my computer for components and fix a stolen cop radio, effectively. While slightly ingenious, I want to make sure that this isn't something that people get in their heads is just allowed without compensation. And then Ashley, of course, convinced the sticky-fingered Nosferatu to snag something for her, and I don't exactly think it's going to pertain to our case.
Snag what?
I'm not 100% sure. They weren't exactly super clear on it, but it seemed like some sort of book out of the library of the university.
Man, the stream just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I wish I'd wake up.
Aren't you already awake?
What? Maybe. Never mind.
So if you're looking for a distraction, maybe you'll help me sift through some of this paperwork until the other two decide to wake up or get their asses here.
I can wake them up. You want me to throw firecrackers at them?
I'd ask you not to. Despite the fact that the basement is solid cement, I don't want to disturb the residents upstairs with sudden explosions.
Also, out of character, Olivia, add 2 strings of leftover firecrackers from whatever the hell you got up to last night.
Okay. Can not in character, but since oh my god, come on, brain. Lyra gave her the camcorder. Is it possible that she recorded some of the night also?
Possibly. Though your sire will get upset with you if you waste the whole tape without pulling a prank on one of your new coterie mates.
That is true. Okay, sorry.
Of course, very upset will probably just translate to a disappointed look, and clearly you need more color, and you know where that goes.
Yeah. But, alright, anyway,
Also, I see
sorry,
you got
back
a
to
new
you.
look.
Yeah, can we not go there? There's a lot that happened last night, and I'm still unpacking that shit.
I was just debating on whether or not I needed to stop for a party store for you as well to make sure you don't stick out like a sore thumb when we decide to go investigate.
she's kind of like, she kind of looks at you in like a, don't, we're, oh my god, I can't think of what I'm trying to
You
say.
got this.
I keep getting tongue-tied. She kind of like just looks at you like, she doesn't want to change it, because in a small way, she kind of likes it.
Oh, that's fair. Alvin's smirking at this point because, the previous night he had to get Pius a costume, so he's wondering if he's got to get you one too.
Hey, Elvin?
Yeah,
You
Olivia?
think I'm ugly? Is that why you want to change what I look like?
Oh no, you just already look like a party store. I just thought it amusing.
Excuse me? Do
That's
you
not a
want me to
bad
throw the
thing.
whole freaking coffee pot at you? I will. I am not beyond that.
Pius would start stirring downstairs, hearing the yelling.
You will in a moment. Sorry. So
No, you're
But for-
fine. You're fine.
in the midst of this chaos, the taxi will pull up out front, and in it will be your erstwhile Tremere companion.
I better have stuff coming out of that trunk.
You will.
Okay, just making sure.
You have the 2 items you acquired last night.
Okay. I imagine one of them's hard to hide.
Grandmother clocks are the smaller clocks that go on the mantle, not the big tall ones.
Okay, so that's in my arms then.
Yep, you got that in one arm, and you got the music box under another, presumably.
Okay. I would assume I would walk up to the door and like kind of kick it with my foot, like, open up! It's raining.
You kick it, but it doesn't open on account of the fact
Oh.
that someone relocked it once they entered.
Olivia will rush over, unlock it, apologizing profusely.
Hi guys. Thanks for getting the
How
door.
have you been? You're welcome. How have you been?
Well, I'm awake without a book, and I gotta go hunt a hunter down. So I'm doing okay. How are you?
That's fair.
You look quite colorful.
Yeah, we'll unpack that a little bit later, I think.
Sounds like fun. And then she'll just kind of walk in and set the stuff down on the table and then take a seat herself.
And it is finally now that Pius will begin to stir.
Pius would start to stir and sit up and do his stretch like always. Will cup his hands and stretch them forward and just, oh, what the fuck. Then he'd look down at his journal, his green journal, and write down a minute in there. Then he'd stand up and start walking upstairs. He'd go into obfuscate before he opens the door, just in case.
You will need to make a check in order to still be obfuscated by opening that door, but sure.
Okay. Just to see if I can.
One moment, let me check it out real quick. Right. Wit stealth, difficulty 6.
Wits stealth. Difficulty 6.
Your obfuscate fades as you open the door. You still need some more practice.
Yeah, not quite there yet. Almost. Not quite there though. So he would walk out and sit on one of the chairs and just stare at the party. Specifically, he'd start staring at Olivia, smirk, and then he'd glance over at Alvin, do the "what up" head gesture, and then quickly side eye at Ashley, and then back down at the table.
Olivia kind of comes up to where he's sitting a little bit, and Lyra's like habits are kind of rubbing off on her, and she kind of gets up too close for comfort and's like, "How you doing? What's up,
Whoa
Giggle
there.
Mug?"
Pretty close. Hi.
She backs up and she's like, Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Last time we met, you kind of threw me off with your chanting.
My chanting?
Ah, no, never mind. I'm pious. And he holds out his hand.
She takes his hand and then blurts out, I'm always torn between blah nose and oh my god nose, the other monster weirdos to match our own.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Alvin.
You're on your own. I'm busy.
Fuck. All right. This is my journal, and he would pull it out and show her what he's been doing to it. And as he pulls it out, it's like a green book, and it has like a whole bunch of little faces of clocks kind of sorted on top of it. And each one of them works. Like he made it to where the cover of it actually works. They're all ticking. They have each different time zones. It's like here's
A
where
bank wall of clocks, just miniaturized, all in the diary.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he would like show her like each one's a time zone. Like it allows me to like if I'm running somewhere, like say I have like errands and I have to get to the store. Usually I know what time I can get there by looking at this clock. And if I'm running to it, you know, it's just I need it. But isn't it cool though? All right, and so inside the book, I write a whole bunch of things. I'm not going to show you. Don't ask. I started when I'm nervous too, just so you know. I'm a chatterbox. I'm usually a loner. I keep to myself, but usually someone gets me to talk, I talk. You get me to talk. I don't know why. Alvin?
You don't get a response back.
God damn it.
You're in the doghouse.
He doesn't seem angry. He genuinely seems like he's trying to organize papers by date. While you guys decide to do your little powwow.
Gosh, I'm not good with people things. What do I do, Pius? Don't make eye contact. Best rule. And he looks straight forward at the table in front of him and stiffens up and goes still.
Is Olivia still remaining pretty close to his face during the entire time she's listening to him?
No, she backed up when she apologized.
Okay.
Yeah, Pius just got super nervous and just started like becoming something he's never felt.
No, that's fair. It's the mentality of whether or not like she was remaining attentive to his speech or whether she spaced out herself.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know on her end. Pius was just like he's never had contact like that, where someone just walks up and is interested in him all of a sudden. So
I feel like
freaked out.
I feel like right now she's kind of in a small trance, listening to all the voices in her head, not really paying attention. Oh, like you hear her muttering wherever she's standing. Why does he like our eyes? We have all of them. At least 3 should be nice.
uh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I have entirely too much fun writing those snippets.
I love them. I try to find a way to incorporate them or do something with them, but sometimes it's like hard for me to do because I'm not a good role player.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll have to start somewhere. You should see my original roleplay posts. They were awful. I'm talking like chat speak. Awful. Oof. Anyway,
Pius
Let me
would
see.
like point, like look at Olivia and like point behind her towards the window.
She looks, and then's like,
Pius
what am I?
stands up and obfuscates and walks over towards Alvin and stands behind him.
I see your tricks.
yes, Pius?
You don't know I'm there anymore.
Was anyone observing you?
I don't know.
If anyone was looking at you, you can't enter obfuscate. You might think you did, but you can't actually enter it.
I was going
I
to say
remember this one
Ashley
time,
would be.
this gargoyle.
Damn it!
Ashley would be watching him.
My
There was this
mentality.
one time in another game where someone like we had a what's the a Samidi, which is one of the bloodlines, by the way. It's a kind of NOS adjacent bloodline, and they have obfuscate. They were obfuscated in my character's doctor's office. Specifically, it was me playing Dr. Thorn, and Dr. Thorn had a visitor, a gargoyle visitor. They were chit chatting, and then the gargoyle tried to obfuscate himself and walk outside. Only it didn't work because the Samidi player was still there staring at him. So he walks outside. There's this, and that situation just blows up in everyone's faces. Okay.
Pius would be startled when Alvin acknowledges him, and he's like, what have you figured out?"
Not fucking shit, sadly. I'm currently reorganizing.
Is there any type of like hiccups or slip ups in the professor's movements, like, or is it just all
I've
adding up?
literally got nothing right now.
Fuck, I'm bored. We gotta go out there and do something.
What is the
Because kill
ringtone on? What is the ringtone on Alvin's cell phone? Because he does have a cell phone. He's one of the few of you that has a cell phone. So, well, your standard ringtone starts ringing.
Alvin kind of unclicks, it is the newest flip phone for now.
Well, it's just still pretty much a block, basically.
Oh yeah, it's still huge, but
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does not fit in pocket. It's just nearby. So Alvin would kind of crack it open and go, "Oh,
Mr. Valdric, are you well?
this voice sounds familiar. This is the priest, yes?
Yes, Father Elio Vitale.
Mr. Vitale, what can I do for you?
Yes. I wish to inform you I have indeed investigated all of those who are recent arrivals to my domain. None of them match all of the recent visitations by the Fordon Butcher, and I am quite confident that none of them is the killer. However, fortunately, I have some more helpful news, perhaps. I was visited early this evening, just a few moments ago, by a girl in the confessional. Now, normally I would not share this, but I did seek the girl's permission to inform relevant authorities about what she wished to talk about. She is a friend of... Let me double check my notes. Yes, a friend of Haley Thompson. Haley Thompson was the second most recent victim before Sarah Bounds. Supposedly, she spent the last few days of her life constantly looking over her shoulder and rambling about some dark man and monsters in the dark. Even seeing them while in the presence of a friend who they themselves saw nothing. Something supernatural at work, perhaps.
Interesting.
And as far as I'm aware, it was this unfortunate soul who was the first to be exsanguinated of the killer's victims.
So they were consistently thinking that somebody was stalking them, but not being able to be seen by anyone else.
Almost a certain amount of lunacy, even, to see them right there in front of them, even though those with them could not see them.
Is that Is there some line of vampiric ability that allows them to do that? Obfuscate, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm not an expert on obfuscate. If it was that, it would have to be some sort of advanced usage that kind of bellies the idea of someone being newly of the blood, like the Fordon Butcher supposedly. There are other options, however. Chemistry, which is the discipline of Clan Ravnos. It can manifest illusions, but those illusions are typically visible to all present and able to witness them. Which leaves me with only one thing I know of that could potentially manifest such things. Dementation, the power of those of Malkavian blood.
Alright.
Which does not bode well for someone that embraced such a madman. It's my understanding that the prince already has doubt for those child heir of Malkav in the city. And this would not make things any better if it was true.
Hmm.
Again, I can only offer you my knowledge of vampiric arts and disciplines, which is sadly by no means absolute and complete. Just my honest opinion.
So what I'm hearing is that I'm gonna have to get in contact with the Malkavian clan and see whether or not they've got a rogue that they may know of, or someone who's gone missing as of recent.
Possibly. Either way, I shall inform you if I find anything else, and I shall remain at your service if you wish to contact me about anything else as well.
Thank you, Father. We'll give you a ring if there's anything else that decides to come up. We feel we might be in your wheelhouse.
Of course. I wish you a good day, Mr. Valdrik.
A good evening to you as well. He'll hang up.
And there'll be a heavy, you hang up, but if you hadn't hang up, there would have been like a heavy click of like a manual phone.
Who was that?
That was Father Vitale. Got most of his recent arrivals do not really fit the criteria that we're looking at.
I heard you say something about obfuscate. What's up with that?
It would appear that one of the friends of Miss Haley Thompson, the second to last to be killed, the first to be exsanguinated, had the recollection of her friend, basically looking around like a paranoid lady out of a horror movie. Able to see something following her that no one else around her could. I was curious as to whether or not it could have been the methodology of someone who's skilled with obfuscate, but as he mentioned, that's not really something that a newbie would be able to pull off, which led him to believe a possible second theory, dementation, something a little more akin to Malkavians rather than other clans. Kind of looks over to Olivia. You think
Yeah,
you're...
Olivia's listening.
So, question for you, Olivia. Think your sire or anyone else in your clan might be able to give us a heads up on whether or not somebody in your clan's gone missing or has just decided to drop contact altogether?
Oh boy, you're gonna make me do it, aren't you?
Look, I'm not saying you have to call Lyra, but I would be interested in talking to somebody with a little bit of foresight about the...
Oh, you're gonna make me do it.
Look, here's the thing, is if it turns out that this guy was taken by a Malkavian, the prince is gonna have a field day. So I'd rather keep this on the down low.
Oh, I know. I think I can help.
Now I see you brought a bunch of junk into my shop there, Ashley. What exactly are you planning on doing with it?
It's a peace offering.
To me?
Actually, for Pius. Before he walks out that door.
Oh, he's already there. He's making sure there's not a package at the door waiting for him.
By the way, Olivia's starting to kind of shrink a little bit, but like she's just feeling a little watched right now.
Would the computer components be there yet, Andrew?
Not the front entrance, at least not yet.
Okay.
There's a back
First-
receiving bay door if you're looking to sneak out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there and check that out real quick. I have a guy delivering a computer cord so I can fix your computer.
Also, the running theory is that your windows are heavily tinted one way. Otherwise, anyone who would look passing by on the street would look in and see the Nosferatu standing there.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was aware that I was in a shaded corner, so that way I could, lean like in the picture right here, where like behind the counter where that little brick wall meets the window.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna stand blatantly in the window. I didn't know if they were shaded or not.
Would
You get about halfway to the back door when someone's knocking on the front door.
Pius would tilt his head back and just, god damn it, turn back around and be like, "Someone get that! I can't."
Alvin would head over to the door.
is Olivia able to communicate with the voices just in her head? Like not talking out loud?
Yes, but it's a work in progress. It's like flexing a muscle you were never aware you had, sort of thing.
I'm sure she'd be able to at least like speak into it. Maybe not like figure out how to like pick up the receiving end, but maybe just yell into it or something.
Could she try contacting Lyra a little bit and see if she could ask about what Alvin was talking about?
We will, but in a moment. First thing, the door.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay. There's a guy standing there in a hoodie, and he's got like a random, like generic wrinkled-looking brown bag in one hand. Hey, you don't look like Pius. Pius around? I got something for him.
He's a little predisposed at the moment. I can accept something for him.
Pius would shout in the distance, "I'm pooping!"
Oh, okay. Well, if Pius says you're all right, I guess you're all right. You look a little too fancy, too blue-blooded for me. But here you go. Have a nice night.
You as well. You want a coffee on the way out?
Oh, that'd be swell.
Alvin will get him a coffee real quick and a bagel and, send him on his way.
Is there a way that I can put a firecracker in it?
Biting.
You can try, but I don't know how you would light it because it's got liquid in it.
Maybe in the bagel.
Just get a
Oh, yeah,
soggy
bagel.
like sulfur taste.
The bagel would be funny.
God damn it, guys.
Can I try?
You can try, yes.
Oh God!
You're going to
let's
kill
see.
Pius's contact.
It's just a firecracker. They're not very bang, but
Might lose a couple teeth. Or a finger.
it depends on whether or not he's biting the bagel or sipping the coffee at the time it goes off. If you succeed. So let's go ahead and do this. Dexterity and either stealth or larceny. Larceny does cover things like pickpocketing and sleighting of hand.
It does.
And I'll let you pick whether or not it's dexterity larceny or dexterity stealth.
How do I do the dice rolls?
You go over into the dice section and you make a new little skill under the dice pool. And you select which attribute and which ability you're using. And then you set it to which difficulty. It's by default, it's set to 6.
Am I
This will
able to
absolutely-
counter-roll this?
You are absolutely able to roll perception and alertness on this, yes.
Yes.
Don't worry, I got terrible dice looking this thing.
I was going to say it would be difficulty 7, but you still got 2 successes there. And she got
2.
yeah,
Well, 3
2
if
as
it's-
well.
She got 3 if it's DC 6 for her.
No, it would have also been DC 7, so 2 and 2. She does succeed in putting it in there, but you also see her fiddling with the bagel you're about to hand over to this guy.
I'm sorry.
You don't
for
know
trying
what
to,
she did with it. You just know she was holding it.
Sorry for trying to, take your bagel. He'll grab a different bagel.
No, I was just gonna give this to him, customer service. I want to help.
I'm gonna roll a 50-50 check. If it's low, Alvin believes you.
Okay.
Because we tied, and it's literally a coin flip. 50 and lower is in your favor.
Fuck.
Touched it, and I'm wearing gloves. Yeah. So,
Okay. Tosses the bagel over his shoulder.
Well, that was
hey,
a waste.
don't just go littering the place.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, customer service. I'll pick that bagel up and throw it out for you, Alvin.
He just looked at her confused, thinking to himself, no Malkavians do the thing, but really? Just kind of walks over to, the guy who's dropping off the package, here you go. Have yourself a good night.
Thank you. Daily Bagel. That's supposed to be like a Daily Bugle reference, because if it is, that's hilarious. I love it.
It absolutely is. Figured we'd probably get some, clients that are a little more on the journalistic side and, maybe emulate the same spirit of it. Kind of gives him the best, J. Jonah Jameson smile he can.
Yep. He clearly gives appreciative nod and just kind of peeks in and kind of looks at the wall. You might want to add like a newspaper wallpaper sort of thing, That'd probably work really well.
I like that idea.
I gotta get thanks for the call. Spread
Your
the word. I got
bagel.
some friends that might enjoy coming down.
Enjoy that plain bagel. It's no fun.
Don't
Olivia.
tell me what I find fun and not fun. That's ridiculous. Silly broad. He walks on off.
Close the door and he just looks at Olivia what the hell?
Pius would walk from the hallway, just what the fuck just happened?
You were around the
my
corner.
fun.
You didn't actually see what happened. You just heard the
heard
words.
it. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Thanks for ruining my fun, Alvin.
I don't get what you mean. I just took a bagel.
Joy killer. Joy killer.
And you thought you had problems with me and Pius. You're going to have more fun with those two.
She's got that right.
Speaking
And
of
for a
Pius.
strange moment across Seattle, the Malkavians in the city are just kind of start humming Joy Killer for about a minute or two.
I love that.
It's kind of like chapel bells going off in the distance. Only it's just Joy Killer.
Oh, yeah, you three. I got some small flower arrangements for you. Then she just chucks it at all three of them. Lyra's last night at girls' night, we had to do some flower arranging, and I was forced to do this. So here you go, presents.
Not only were you forced to do it, but a certain someone made sure it held up to Victorian era flower language. Okay, giving messages, flower arrangements, you gave that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I actually looked that up too. I'm gonna put it in chat.
I was going to say, I want to know what flowers they are before I pick mine up.
Pius lets it bump him on the chest, and he stares at it. After hearing the commotion and all that, he doesn't know what the hell is going on, and the flower just got thrown at him.
A flower arrangement.
A flower arrangement thrown at him.
They're it's just like a mini bouquet, like you see like a corsage or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what was happening. The door was knocked on. Commotion happened. Flowers.
Alvin is also holding currently a crumpled brown bag.
The guy
my
was looking for you.
Sweet. And he snatches the bag and may I go into your room, Alvin?
No, I'll be bringing the stuff out so that way you can operate out here.
Okay, that works.
Where I can see you goes unsaid.
While he goes and grabs that, Ashley would go and stand up, grab her shit, and go up to Pius and tap him on the shoulder.
He would look up and just go, "Yo,
I have a peace offering.
I told you I didn't want any favors."
I didn't say it was a favor. I said it was a peace offering.
Ah,
And then she'll just
for,
shove it in his face. Here you go. They're broken, but they're perfect.
Which one
for
does
you.
she shove first?
The clock. Especially
I
after
see.
observing the journal thing.
what's the story behind this?
Used to be cursed, not anymore.
Ooh, now that's interesting.
I also have this, and then she sticks out the music box. This also had magical attributes, but I don't believe it does anymore either. They're both broken. They do need a little help, but
Like old spindle with the metal prongs that make the.
antique.
Yeah, it's like one of those really, really old ones that have like the little spinning dancer on top. But it's like you would, because of your background, if you have a very good idea, this one's not one of like the remakes they did as a copycat thing in like the 50s and 60s. This one's probably
This is
much older.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
definitely vintage.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Pius would hold up his hand and ball his hand to a fist and give you the pounded sign.
What's that? What are you doing?
Punch my fist.
Okay, and then she'll punch his fist very
And
very
just
gently.
say boom.
Boom?
There you go.
Oh. I don't know what the hell we just did, but okay.
The music box.
Oh, that's what we're doing first, not fixing the computer?
For Alvin?
Nope. He instantly got interested in shit that and was like, with this.
I figured. I just wanted to double
old
check.
shiny object.
Now, I believe Olivia was going to try and do something before we had to deal with the delivery.
Yes.
You were going to try and contact your sire, Lyra, through the Madness Network. There is. How are you going about this? This is like the first time you try to send something.
Like, she's like squinting and everything. She looks like she's constipated. So, and she's trying to think real hard, like, about her question to Lyra. And yeah.
And what is the question?
Oh shit, Nick, what was I supposed to specifically ask?
Whether or not anyone within the Malkavian clan has gone silent in the last couple weeks, or has removed contact looking for possible rogues, or anyone who might know of an accident that's occurred within the last couple weeks.
Okay, yeah, so basically that.
Well, you send that to Lyra, and you get the strangest sensation that went through. She would definitely not be the only one that heard it. And it's like this outward ripple from you through that giant auditorium that's inside the giant carved brain that makes up the Madness Network. As each and every single member of the clan just kind of seems to hear it, either shrugs it off, or just kind of talks to each other, adding, like, giving up a total additive. And somewhere over the course of, like, the next 3 minutes, you'll get the number of, like, 396. And then, like, there's more talking, gets hammered down, like, who went to sleep? Like, because going to torpor means you're probably not in the network very well, unless you're, like, an old one. Or who got offed on some sort of turf war with the Sabbat, or, like, with something else, and they got hunted. And it's kind of it's brought down until it's only talking about Seattle, because obvious that's what she meant, you dumbasses. Which starts some sort of argument over in one corner. But you get a grand total of 1.
Okay. Ooh, so grand total of 1. God. Sorry, I'm very tongue-tied.
Yeah, it's fine. And then it's Lyra's voice in your head that will kind of confirm. Yeah, 1? Yeah, I think it was 1. The question then becomes who, and then everyone starts to lose interest.
Yeah, but hey, come back! I need you!
It seems most of the clan is currently watching through the eyes of someone over in London as they're having a meeting with Prince Mithras and are bandying words with him.
So basically the only information I got there is 1, but that's about all I got.
You got a confirmation that someone has gone missing from Clan Malkavian in Seattle within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Alright, so I'm gonna relay that to Elvin. Basically I kind of walk up to where he is and tap his shoulder.
Look.
So after...
He's just setting the... This would be about the time that he's setting the vase on the window shelf.
So... to my sire, there has been 1 that has disappeared from Seattle in the last 3 weeks, but that was all I could get.
Somewhere in your brain, someone's chanting, "One of us, one of us."
She's just like looking at him, still deadpan. One of us, one of us.
Alright then, we have at least a little idea that tells us the methods or I should say the clan possibility. Now the real question becomes, they'd have likely some skills that your clan possesses if they are indeed sired from Malkav. So we get to think like a Malkavian in order to figure out how to catch this guy.
Can we not think like a Malkavian?
Well, here's the problem. Aren't you all connected to some degree?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, so if they're connected to the network much in the same way that you are, then maybe there's an echo or something that you might be able to pinpoint or possibly have others listen in for. Somebody who might be lost, somebody speaking Latin.
Out of character.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Out of character. If they were a true member of the clan, technically their voice would be somewhere in there with yours. They'd be able to hear, potentially, if they were paying attention, what you're talking about. Or even looking through your eyes.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
You've gotten a sensei. I mean, you've seen glimpses through other people's eyes before that were members of Clan Malkavian. Memories transferred across the network are open to everyone.
I mean, I can try, Elvin. I'll keep my head out there and listen as best I can. But it's kind of chaotic up in here, crazy girl and all. Where's my mental institution?
I think they closed.
And laughs a little bit too.
I think they closed many of those down because they were unethical, like a couple decades ago.
Boulder Dash. I bet. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of sad Malkavian voices in your head about, like, reminding you about how the asylums are all closed now.
Where are all the crazies gonna go? That was home.
I couldn't tell you. Wasn't my decision. Wasn't alive then? Or unalive then? Great. Now you got me doing it. Okay, so that's a lead, but also not a lead. We've got the one suspect. Pius, got that radio working yet?
Oh, he's had that room working for a while. There's been scattered things, buzzes, static, and the usual 10-4 suit.
So we got a couple options. I've got plenty of papers to sift through for the one suspect that we have, or we can try to go about and search up who this missing Malkavian might have been. I don't think you guys necessarily keep a registry of who all's in your clan or how many there are, do you?
Sorry, I was paying attention to my watch. Cassandra might know who's all involved, but I don't really know much.
So if one of them gone missing, I mean, they're technically connected, so they're never really lost. They're also never really found either, so...
Out of character, can I take them down there? Andrew?
Take them down to the Wardens?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Very,
okay.
very rare is the non-Nosferatu that is given permission to enter the Wardens.
I figured that, but that's why I wanted to I wanted to double check. All right, so okay. In order for Pius to ask Cassandra, he'd have to leave. If there's anyone missing.
And
from
what
our
is it you
clan.
want to ask her?
If she would think if there's like anyone from our clan like missing, or like if there's any like wild ones out there that would do something like this. Because I know we have like a lead, but maybe Cassandra might know something as well about that.
It would be, honestly, the one that would know for sure would probably be Donovan, because he is your primogen and currently the leader of the Wardens.
True. Cassandra just gets around. I figured she'd be more loose-lipped to say some stuff than Donovan would. But that'll
Fair
be for
enough.
another time.
Indeed.
Right now we have a task at hand.
So, did your book come up with any leads there, Ashley?
Still working through it. I gotta go and do some researching on looking for another book to hopefully help. My sire did give me a lead into a section of our library that I need to look into. It's a lot of research involved in this shit.
Is it going to help with our case, or is, it's extracurricular?
A little of both.
Hmm.
To be honestly.
If you want to show an image, Valorous, you just drop it in Discord.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. I was telling him that my thing is like GM only. The ability to just like show the players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll post it in general. So the watch that Pius, just like since Ashley gave Pius the musical thing, and Pius has a pocket watch, he took it apart during this whole thing and made it into this.
So it's a musical pocket watch now?
Yeah, so when he opens it, it will chime. He
What
hasn't
kind
really
of chime?
He hasn't really thought of the song for it yet. He's trying to figure out like the spindles and stuff. Maybe he can like start working on putting his own spindles on there to reconfigure his own tune. He's not sure yet. But right now it just has like the basic like ballerina dancing chime.
Excellent.
If you were to sit down and think about it more, because this was just a quick little like put together thing. Like he did it in haste just to see if it would work.
This was beta. Excellent.
Yes, this was beta.
Does the professor have a seminar that's supposed to be happening tonight?
It will be Tuesday night, actually, which is the night after this one.
Is that the night that the killing is supposed to happen?
It's supposed to, yes.
Nope.
I thought it was
Wednesday.
tomorrow.
No. It was on Saturday. It was like 3 days before Saturday, like that when the killing happened. And then Sunday was, it was 4 days ago, and then now it's 5 days ago, and 6, 7. It'll be Wednesday, basically early AM Wednesday. Well, not early AM Wednesday, but early AM Thursday technically, but it'll be Wednesday night.
Okay. I was off a day.
Don't worry, you still have time before this week's killing.
We do.
And now you possibly have another symptom to be looking for.
Mania of some variety. Did the good professor exhibit any unique quirks when we were talking to him?
He was pretty collected.
Yeah, he was pretty collected.
Well, madness does not necessarily mean that you are
insane at all times.
outwardly like Lyra. You can be a in your own head kind of
Example. The Malkavian Primogen in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, whenever he would be talking, whenever you heard his voice recording, or whenever he would be talking to the other vampires of the city, supposedly, he was perfectly sane and normal. But you saw the inside of his house. You know what his actual thoughts were probably like.
I mean, I guess in that sense, the professor did an killer with his movements as well. Like he just was like, oh, interesting. He wasn't like, what are you trying to mean, or anything like that. If I was questioned with something that heavy, I would have been like, what the fuck do you mean? Or like, why would you even suggest that? He was just like, oh, that's nice, and just kept talking.
Well, I've got background checks / other odds and ends, for him to sift through, but we want to poke holes through the vampire side of things. Does anyone else have any ideas as to how to accomplish that?
I don't think I have anyone I could ask to attend any of his classes or.
Well, the only thing coming up is that guest lecture, which is presumably going to be attended by quite a few people.
Yeah. Pius wouldn't be able to attend. Well, he would, but it'd be quite tricky.
And you might get turned away at the door with that ridiculous disguise you wore last time.
Who said I use a door?
Fair enough. Do you wish to go somewhere?
That's just it. I have no clue where to go.
Well, in that case,
We could joyride.
you will get a text from Kyle then, which I believe I should have actually done earlier, but I was just letting y'all run with things until now. He does have a hit on the whole Thunderdogs business. Apparently, they make their normal haven in the far side of town in South Park, south of.
Is Andrew breaking up for anyone else?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
It must be just us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can still hear him clear.
Yeah, we missed half
But
that.
yes, he believes George.
Yeah. Your last recording for Giant Slayer also had you muted there, Dave.
It did?
Yep.
Ooh.
Although Anna's side caught you.
Okay. Weird.
So I don't know what's going on with your PC.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go in there and figure it out.
My recording does that too, where I found out it's muting me if I'm on Discord with everybody, but I can hear everybody else.
I was doing some stuff yesterday on my computer when my GeForce updated, and it could have did it with the audio drivers or something. I'll just reinstall it, see what happens.
Okay, should we take a 10-minute break then?
Oh no, I'm fine for now. I can deal with it.
Okay. In that case,
You're not cutting out to the point where I don't hear the information that I need to. It's like just randomly.